Some people living on Portland's east side are concerned about an increase in a proposed new apartment building law designed without parking spaces for cars. Right now, there are 17 apartment developments on the launch pad are now under construction. Some of the biggest are highlighted on this map. They will add hundreds of new places to live, but cars aren't welcome. And KOIN Local 6 reporter Cor Harlan live on Southeast 30th and Hawthorne, where one of those projects is about to get underway. Cor?
Right, Jeff. Well, cars not welcome here. Some good news for a lot of people who use mass transit. A lot of mass transit up and down Hawthorne here, use MAX to get around town here. But it is a real concern for a lot of other homeowners who live in the area here who fear that apartment buildings without parking spaces for cars could make congestion problems worse than they already are.
I believe that this is way too big and does not fit in our neighborhood.
Robin McIntosh opposes the 80-unit apartment development. It's just down the street from her at Southeast 37th and Division. People laugh, she says, when she tells them it's being built without any parking for cars. Robin fears it'll congest this peaceful Richmond neighborhood.
It will result in more cars in the neighborhood. It will result in more parking problems and more cars driving around trying to find a place to park.
Another 50-unit apartment building has been proposed at the corner of Southeast 30th and Hawthorne. That's the site of the old Big Daddy's Barbecue. There are 50 secured and closed bike parking spaces here, but again, no parking for cars, no new parking for cars. Dennis Jewell, who lives a couple of blocks away, fears that those cars will compete for parking space in front of his house several blocks away.
You can add 50 cars to any area, especially, the blocks right around it. It's going to be a mess.
I have lots of friends who are car-free who live here. I think, and more are moving here all the time or deciding to give up their car.
Reuben Doimling, president of the Sunnyside Neighborhood Association, says 50 new apartments at 30th and Hawthorne is a little big for this neighborhood. But he says census data from 12 years ago indicate that almost 30% of renters in Multnomah County do not own a car. And he says with such good bike options and good bus access on Hawthorne, it could be something that works here without validating the worst fears of a lot of people who live in the close-in east side who don't like the idea of building new apartments without new places to park their cars. All right, so the permits for this spot here at 30th and Hawthorne have already been approved, and they are well within the City of Portland's zoning laws. The laws simply say that if you're near mass transit or good biking or good walkability, you don't need to include parking spaces with any new apartment complexes. Jeff and Kelly, there is a real demand for new apartment housing here in Portland, second only to New York City in terms of the lowest apartment vacancy rates anywhere in the nation. So a lot of apartments are filled right now, and there is a definite need for new supply of apartment housing. Reporting for you live tonight here at Southeast 30th and Hawthorne, Cor Harlan, KOIN Local 6.